Can I run a sub 2 hour 45 marathon in Seville in 20 weeks time?
So this week we've got 35 of our coaches flying out for our 5th event of the year. We've got a 3-day event of training, sea dips, food and a business intensive. So I've got to manage 6 training sessions, 3 runs, 3 lift, some of which I'll be able to get done with everybody else, but a couple of the long runs I'm going to have to try and backload and figure out how I'm going to fit absolutely everything in. So stay tuned and we'll see if I can tick the boxes and get it done.
Joel Harry team.
The big puppies, the big Welsh, the big Welsh,
Valleys FC.
the valleys, and the valleys.
They think we're done, we're not.
Come on then!
Team, this is the man, the myth, the legend, the wizard, the magician, Mr. Dan Reeve, the goat of hybrid. Is that even you? Do you define yourself? Is that?
I don't mind it. I'm not adverse to hybrid training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. We first connected 2020.
19, I reckon.
1920. It was COVID. I was training with Mr. Mark Rhodes at the time. We were actually looking at doing what was going to be the Great Euro Tri. I think we just were bored, had nothing to do, and just thought, let's go and do something. And Mark had trained with you in FLF.
Yeah, worked together, coached him for a bit.
And then was like, we just basically need to work with this guy because he's absolutely amazing at what he does. And then I met you in Cornwall. We trained in a shipping container. Met you training in a shipping container.
Shipping container, nice and warm.
That was good.
Those were bleak days.
Yeah. Out of that, and then that was it. You took me from then to doing Ironman, which I then did around the house because it was just COVID, so it was just like I didn't have anything else to do, so I just did an Ironman, and then it was into a marathon. I went for sub 3, which went actually pretty well. I'll tell you about that story another time. And then the sub 250, and Dan's obviously coming to the high performance coach, the head of performance for the last 3 years now.
Yeah.
Which has been amazing. I also, when I was in the kind of health, fitness and performance space, then did quite a lot of mentorship with Dan, and yeah, like what I've been able to learn from this guy and what I've been able to take obviously professionally has been incredible in terms of his acumen and understanding and knowledge and education, but then even from his personal leadership, how he operates, conducts himself, sees the world, and I think even just the experiences and fun that we've had, mate, it's been pretty sick, isn't it?
Pretty good, mate.
It's
pretty good.
It's been good. A lot of coffees, a lot of croissants and a lot of good meals.
Yes, damn right. Good experiences.
It's good.
That's what life's about. Memories, isn't it?
So, mate, give the guys a little bit of backstory into you. How long you been in the game?
Yeah, been in coaching now for just like 25 plus years. Originally on the gym floor, like so many of the other coaches out there, like particularly with, like yourself, like your parents say, when are you going to get a real job?
Yeah.
They've stopped doing that. They've stopped doing that now. I don't know how long they've stopped doing that for. Probably about 10 years, I reckon. Now they actually see it as a real thing. But yeah, I was on the gym floor in Kensington in London for sort of 13 years, and then had like a little bit of a relationship breakdown, but then also a loss of like love for the industry to a degree, of like just working with people who were maintaining the sort of levels of fitness, etc. And I wanted a little bit more than that, so like took a year away, studied, travelled, like got a bit wiser to the world and found my love for it again, realised that it was good, and realised that those sort of formative years were actually really good in terms of building relationships, understanding how to communicate, build connections, those sort of like softer skills that potentially you don't have as coaches don't have when they come out of university with their degrees. I had a sports science degree but then didn't really know how to sort of use it, and then coming back to the UK, worked in an S&C facility, started working with athletes, and then ended up in Manchester at a transformation gym, got like sort of headhunted up to there, where I met Mark there, worked with a lot of really sort of high level coaches who are in the industry now, sort of like your Callum Rystricks, Chris Knotts, Jake Carter's over in Australia. It's a really, really high end sort of like facility, like a UP style facility of transformations, which wasn't really what I was about, but again, it was another string to your bow, like understanding how that sort of like real deep level fat loss, but then also just being around great coaches like really pushed your levels to that environment. Like we experienced it today in the gym, just like training together, you don't get pushed like that, but it's similar in a work capacity as well, which is what we're trying to do within the high performance coach, show people what's possible and build that. And we had that environment there, and then my wife wanted to move down to Cornwall, be close to her family and stuff, so sort of transitioned into online, and then started sort of like doing online coaching. Obviously COVID hit, I was in a perfect position because I'd actually transitioned just before COVID hit, so I'd already taken things online and thought I'd created the life that I wanted to have. Like we often talked about that back in those days. I remember when you came down to the container and said, yeah, this is the life that I wanted it to be, just walk the dogs, train like a professional athlete. And then a few months later I started mentoring Ben, who was going to do the sort of job that I do in terms of the programming. And then Ben was just like, you should just get fucking Dan to do this, because like I can't learn all this shit, but like it's not going to be the same thing. Just ask him. He doesn't seem very fulfilled. He's like, yeah, I wasn't particularly fulfilled. I created this lifestyle, had like 50, 60 clients, but then it's like fucking bored. This is relatively straightforward in terms of what I was doing. So it was a great opportunity for me, and obviously to be then exposed to good athletes, coaches, like actually mentoring and doing what we do with the coaches that we have now. It's like, yeah, it's fun, it's purposeful, and I feel like I'm adding value to an industry that I've been in for a long time now. So yeah,
if I shift gears and I move into the specificity of what I'm currently doing with trying to run a sub 2:45 marathon. Number one, how am I to coach?
Fucking terrible. Literally disgrace, an absolute disgrace. You want, like I always say, like the best people that you can, the best results I get with people is the ones who feedback the most, who then like communicate really, really well. And Joe's just like, just give me the plan, and then you never hear from him, and he's just like, well, I don't know whether he's done it or not. And then I send him the next part of it. It's like, I don't know whether he's then done that part or not. And yeah. How's it going? Yeah, good.
Yeah,
that's it. Just tell me what to do, and I'll just go and do it.
Just crack on until then a problem arises, and that's it. And I think as well, it's like even when back in the day, it was like same thing with coaching. It's like, what do you value? What do you need? What are you looking for? It's like, give me a plan. I'll go and execute. Yeah, from time to time, will I deviate because I want to go and do some extra arms, or I go and do an extra run with Ryan. But it's like, but every program that you've given me is like I've fought, and everything that I wanted to attain and achieve, it was like, here's the process. I trust this guy. I know that this guy's going to be able to take me to exactly where I need to go. I just need to get my head down and do the work. And it's like, I actually then just value knowing that you are there, guiding, give me exactly what I need. And it's like, just give me the speed, give me the strategy, help me just remove my own thinking. And when there's problems and challenges, I remember ringing you last year, I was like, mate, I'm absolutely buggered.
Yeah.
I was like, my head's telling me that I should do this, but what should I do? And it's like, it's those moments where you just need you need a guide, and somebody who has been where you've been, done what you've done, achieved, and has the level of leadership, understanding, and expertise to then be able to just direct, you just place your full trust into. And I think that's a massive part of it. And it's like, before, when we first started, it was like, here's a check-in sheet, and here's this, and here's that. And I used to do the same with my guys as well. Actually, that's not where the value is.
Yeah, and like people, there's like, obviously from a coaching perspective, and like there'll be a lot of coaches who are listening to this, like some people are always going to want that and always going to need that. And it's like just recognizing that there's levels in which you need to actually, one, be in contact, two, gain data, gain feedback, and also then managing that through times of the year and cycles of training at the same time as well. And just understanding that it's okay, just because you have this process, it doesn't mean that process is going to be right for everybody. So you actually have to, one, collaborate with the athlete, collaborate with the client, and be happy to then go, okay, you're not quite giving me what I want, but it's not about me, it's not my fucking result, it's not, you're paying me for the result, or the client's paying you for the result. Get them the result in whatever way is the best for them, not being so fucking strict for your sort of like processes, etc.
Yeah, it's like, this is how it needs to be done. It's like, now what does the individual need at what point to be able to get them to where they want to go?
And like you said, there's time, like that the shipbuilder analogy of like the little guy who comes in with a hammer and like bats it and is then charges an absolute fortune for it, but do you know how to do this? And like you said then, it's like knowing that person is there when you need them, to then ask, to then give you the right answer at the right time, in the right tone, is what is everything.
It's just plan process. This is where I want to go. Here's the plan. Here's the process based upon somebody who's, and it's like, okay, just go and execute. And so then it's like, did you or didn't you? Feedback as necessary and as needed. And I think it's just understanding, and I think that's the beauty of coaching, and that's really the art of coaching, which is amazing. In your opinion, what's going to be the difference, apart from me sticking to the plan, in terms of the most important thing that I need to nail in order for me to be able to run as fast as I can?
Well, we're going to have I think maybe this time we're going to have a slightly different approach to it, because last time we were hitting a higher volume approach to it, which is what a lot of people will do. And like from a running perspective, it is like generally sought after, that's what you should do. but there's lots of ways to skin a cat ultimately, and like we'll take a slightly different approach this time with the way you are, and the way a lot of the higher end individuals that we have within the high performance coach and training them. It's actually more sometimes about training, like running less but running faster. So we might actually run less, but the intensities that we're going to run at might just be a bit more, rather than taking that whole massive amounts of fatigue that then, like, you're a fucking high operator, like you're under a fair amount of stress from a business perspective anyway. If we then put that huge amounts of volume into it, then that can obviously, like it did like last time, when you have these seasons and cycles, it can then obviously break down, and then obviously we lose training weeks, we lose phases. So actually, let's be smarter about it this time. Let's approach it in a slightly different way. Let's maybe give, rather than 4 or 5 runs that we do, maybe we come down to 3, maybe we go up to 4 at some stage, but let's try and do better work, higher quality work, less quantity and just more fucking quality this time. And then we fuck about and find out like we do everything else.
Yeah.
Get no feedback, and then we don't fucking move forward because we don't fucking know anyway, because he never tells me.
We feedback, mate. We move. I think it's that's the beauty. It's like when you are working with people with multi-dimensional like elements and aspects, and that's the difference between somebody who's just stick to this plan and then actually taking into account everything, which is being class. I think what we'll do is definitely do another episode, because I'd love for everybody to learn more about you, the Decker Ironman, and some of the other, mate. Because what you haven't done, I think there's more things that you probably. There's more things that you've done than you haven't done.
So far.
That is that'll be class.
5K together tomorrow though.
Well, we'll see.
Depends
if my trainer's fit. Apparently, this guy's done 10 back-to-back Ironmans, so you only do 5K. He'll only do 5K if my trainer's fit. It's like Cinderella.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Let's see.
Found a few friends. Boys, go on, boys. I tell you what, Elliot, you look fantastic there, mate. Look at that, mate. You're working with us in a one-to-one capacity in some shape or form, so you've already got structure, strategy, a plan, and you've already got an oversight in terms of what your next moves are going to be, which is fucking awesome. So then sometimes I'm going to deliver. I'm trying to find this balance between how much do I literally fuck with your minds, and I go off on one. I've already been told off by Dan to not go too mental today. And then obviously, how do I still make sure that I can give you something you can go and deploy, you can go and install straight away. I'm going to literally go like a wind-up toy today. Yep. So if I go too fast, tell me to slow down. And I want to make sure that every single one of you can walk away with a different level of thinking, a different level of operation, a different level of behavior, so that, like I've spoke to you about before, that this becomes the catalyst, this becomes the springboard, this becomes the foundation from which you're now going to go and propel off from, and you're going to walk away from the next couple of days knowing that you're going to be a different human, you're going to be a different athlete, you're going to be a different coach, you're going to be a different business owner.
Feeling
Good.
post event?
First run of the week.
No, you ran with everybody.
Oh yeah, second run of the week. Good job, you've reminded me. I've had some Farmer Giles piles this week, so Farmer Giles piles plus event means that I've just tried to backload the runs towards the end of the week just to give myself a little bit more recovery. So I have got a 5-mile run at 6:20 pace just now, with a 1-mile warm up, 1-mile cool down, and then tomorrow an 18k at 6:45 pace, and then that'll be job done. Big week of events, big week of training, another box ticked, another week closer.
Feeling pretty good. But it's when you do these runs, I think like I said in a previous episode, they're like, okay, 16 weeks time, this is pretty much marathon pace, bar a couple of seconds, so it grounds you in. This is the standard, this is the level, but also this is the work over the next 4 months that now really needs to get done. But it creates a nice contrast from where you were to where we're going to be. So I love this route. Chasing LP on the bike with a helmet. Mile 4, 6 minutes 17, final mile. I was speaking about this to Ryan, who was in the video last week. Just said how much you enjoy the last mile to half a mile because it's the work that you've done. It's the time that you put in that nobody can take away. So I really enjoy those last couple of minutes and just give myself permission to enjoy those as well, because it's just another rep, another step closer, and another 2p into the machine. 5 miles at 6:20 pace, done and dusted. That felt good today. That felt good. Home, salmon kebabs, some corn on the cob on the barbie, which has got to be up there, one of the best things ever. Bed, 18k's in the morning. Let's go. Join me next week and I'll tell you about the time that Leanne almost divorced me and a twirl and 3 70-year-old guys saved my life. See you then.